And welcome back to episode double ones of the Oh You Didn't Know Wrestling show. That is 11 for all of you counting at home. My name is John Fisher, the somewhat healthy John Fisher, as I try to get through my opening statement. Getting over a little fever and a cough, but I am here. Brad did the show with pneumonia, so I can't complain. Brad Shepard alongside with me for episode 11. Tell them where they can follow us and review and subscribe to us. We're doing it at the beginning of the show now. I felt like it was kind of a switch. We're new, right? A new face, new matchups, new switches, new everything.
Yeah, it's definitely not all the same shit. So for that reason, follow me on Twitter at the Brad Shepard, SHEPARD. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast, rated 5 stars, spread the word, and obviously we're available on Stitcher, on iTunes, on Google Play, on SoundCloud, 107 platforms, maybe even more tomorrow as this is released.
So how many platforms are we on?
108.
108.
About 109.
Why not 112? No, but thanks for tuning in, everyone. Yeah, go follow us on all those platforms. You can listen to any of them. You can even listen on YouTube if you really want to. The Oh You Didn't Know Wrestling show. It's under my YouTube channel name. I think it's just John Fisher. Actually, maybe I can get some clarification on that. No, that's my Google photo. This is what happens when we do it live and when we totally just do the intro, without even preparing for it. Is that anything can happen? It is.
We're live, pal.
Yeah, we seriously are, dude. It doesn't matter. Just search my name and the and wrestling, you'll find it. You can even listen on YouTube. The Raw exclusive, and Raw was the theme of wrestling the past week, as it were. Because TNA Impact is getting sexier and edgier. Well, damn it, pal. So are we.
Yeah, it was interesting, right? So I guess let's get started on the Monday Night Raw.
So last week, no, we're not going to do that. Last week, we talked about football, and it turned out really well for you. Don't you want to revisit that strategy?
Well, I didn't want to rub it in.
I told you who I was rooting for. I rather would have had this game to, I think, be more competitive.
I don't see a repeat performance from the Patriots. I mean, that was really a near perfect game. It was just an all-around incredible performance for the most part. I mean, there was, some garbage time yards and touchdowns for the Chargers there at the end, so it made it appear even a lot closer than it really was. But just a total anal destruction of Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So you're facing probably the best quarterback in his rookie year. Actually, it was the greatest rookie performance of all time by a quarterback, Pat Mahomes. Since technically this is his first full season. It is.
But yeah, it's his first year. But he played some games last year.
Like, do you really want to go into the statistics with me? Do you really? Because you will lose. You will lose this battle. I'm waiting.
It's not a battle. Facts are facts. I mean, he's got a Tyreek Hill. He's got a Sammy Watkins. He's got 100 weapons. Travis Kelce.
So
are you kidding me?
So you said this is his second year. He played one game and had 35 pass attempts last year. So no, this is his rookie year for all intents and purposes.
You just literally admitted he played a game last year.
One game, but it's his first full season, and he hasn't even played half a season.
Full season. That's true. Yeah.
And he put up the best season by a first-year starter in the history of pro football.
Hey, he's phenomenal. There's no question about it.
He is. So does New England have a chance in Arrowhead Stadium?
Do they have a chance? Yes, because of Brady and Belichick. Do I expect them to win? No, I don't.
Really?
They haven't been good on the road. And, ultimately it's the least talented team that they've had in Brady's tenure. So I don't expect them to win. Could they win? Yes. But I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, when you look at it, it really does feel like the four best teams. And, I think both AFC and NFC championship games are going to be really exciting no matter what happens And I think we're going to get a great Super Bowl either way, no matter what happens. So I'm excited about that.
I am too. I have the Chiefs winning by 10, but that's just me. Only because, if it was in New England, I may flip that prediction. But
well, Vegas odds have them the Chiefs a 3-point favorite, which is what you get when you have a home game. You get you get the 3. Like I said, we'll see what happens. I mean, the Patriots are kind of positioning themselves as an underdog. Like everybody thinks we suck, etc. So I think it's going to be really interesting. It really is. I'm looking forward to it. And by the way, the Patriots are going to have a good team next year. Forget what happens this weekend. The Patriots have 12 draft picks. I think they're coming back and going to be even better next year.
With or without Tom Brady?
With Tom Brady, 100%.
Okay. I figured we can start off the show with something positive because while I try to remain the optimistic one, there was some wrestling this week. Nothing new with All Elite Wrestling. I was kind of hoping there would be something new with them. Maybe we should get to no. You want to get to the clarification made by their chief brandy officer?
Well, I there was an article that was posted on Forbes discussing All Elite Wrestling.
The Forbies.
They're talking about some of the big names in the industry. And it says, I'm just going to read the article, quote, "This will not be the case with AEW on a roster that already boasts some of the best wrestlers in the world and Cody," unquote.
I got to see who wrote that. Does it have an author?
I just have the screenshot. Alfred, who
oh god,
is
awful. He's awful.
Yeah. Oh, he's terrible. He's the worst. He blocked me on Twitter a long time ago. He is a dick face.
Yep.
Yeah. So no surprise there, but
I knew him from my times at Bleacher Report back in the day. Guy's a total dink.
He's a contributor. He's a contributor. He's not like an actual member of the Forbes, staff.
No, because they're smarter than that to hire someone with his credentials. Trust me.
Yeah. So that's all the AEW. I'm a chief brandy officer. I mean, they had the correction on the gender pay gap.
Yeah. Were you surprised? I wasn't.
No, I wasn't surprised at all. I think it was pretty clear what happened there. And I'm glad they did clarify it because, it was a good question that I raised. So, yeah. And now she's got the Chief Brandy Officer T-shirts out, looking to make money off that as well. So, kudos.
When are your royalties coming in?
I'm not going to hold my breath on that.
No, but that's really, it's an interesting concept, it just, taking a look at, I don't even think WWE does that, which they could, because I know, and I'm specifically talking about NXT right now, they don't get paid that well anyway, but you take a look at what they're able to do with the people they bring in. Like, I'm sure coming in, someone like Nikki Cross, who was an average name in the indie wrestling community, should not make the same as Ethan Carter III, who came in as a star in TNA, whatever you may want to call that. But there were two different levels of stardom in their own sector. So I don't think even NXT had a big opportunity to do it with a lot of their stars they brought in, because let's be honest, they're not a development territory anymore. But with the people that they bring out of the tryouts, I think they definitely could have done it there and set a precedent for other companies moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, did you know Dave Meltzer says if he was starting a company, one of the first 5 guys he'd want is Tyler Bate. And if he isn't one of the biggest stars in the business in 5 years, somebody should be sued for booking malpractice.
I love Tyler Bate. I think he's an excellent wrestler. I need to see more from him as doing the other side of it. Like, it can't be one-sided. And that's me talking, I know how you feel. We have different takes on what wrestling that we enjoy, and that's totally fine. He's my kind of guy, but Mike, time, man, you can't just be a wrestler. You got to talk, and I haven't heard him talk.
Have you seen any charisma?
In ring, yes. Out of the ring, no, I haven't.
All right, what's his character?
They don't have one. That's it's a different atmosphere over there. Yeah, like Pete Dunne's one of them. He's a tough asshole who will beat the crap out of you and not
He's
care
tough. He looks like he's in high school
until he bends one of your fingers back, pal.
Yeah. Ooh, better watch that.
Hey, you know what?
Double jointed motherfucker.
No, you're not.
Take that. So yeah, I wonder. I was thinking, but do you think Tyler Bate can ride the adult rides at the amusement park?
He's my height. Yeah, he can.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's definitely my height. No. Actually, most of them are my height.
No, they're shorter even
than me.
Yeah, Tyler Bate is absolutely shorter than you. It's not even a question.
I mean, you had to pick me up and put me on your shoulder so I could see at the wrestling show we went to.
Yeah, just imagine him. It would be like, I don't know.
But the Melts. He has his thoughts, and sooner or later he'll be chief creative officer of All Elite Wrestling, and all will be good in the world.
Hey, did you know All Elite Wrestling has hired a new vice president of business strategy? I mean, they have more vice presidents than wrestlers so far, it seems like. But
who is it? Who is it?
Harrington. He's buddies with Dave Meltzer.
Who?
And in one of the names on wrestling Twitter, he hosts the WrestleNomics podcast. He's big into the reading the WWE financial reports, etc., that type of stuff, ratings trends.
I do that too. Does that make me a?
Well, no, it doesn't make anybody an expert or think they should be vice president of a company. But I mean, it's kind of like they're building this giant circle jerk or something. I don't know.
Where did they tweet this?
Cody did announce the information, and then Chris did confirm it. And I follow Chris on Twitter, and he follows me, although probably after this, not so much. But he's a perfectly nice guy. But we're kind of seeing the trend of, the people in this clique who are all buddies up with each other. They're all getting spots in AEW, so it's kind of like building a WCW. So it's something they have to be careful of, honestly.
Well, it worked for WCW in the beginning.
Okay, and they went out of business.
They did.
Do you think that's what they want to do? Go out of business? I don't think so.
Do they want to get bought out by WWE?
I don't know. If Khan owns the company, it would be him.
Yeah, kind of would. You know what? It really does. It really does go to show. I mean, is Cody doing all the right things from a business perspective? Or is he literally letting the cons do all that for him? So all he's worrying about is just put on a good show.
Yeah.
And it's not even a guarantee that they will put on a good show. I think that they will. I have faith in them. I hope to the heavens that there's good wrestling outside of just sometimes Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I just want to try to be optimistic for them, but they can't fall into that Mark mindset. And I'm a Mark, so is Brad. We all are in our own way, but there's a good way of doing business.
I mean, I'm a fan, but not a fanboy. I think that's the distinction.
Now, no. Now tell me, see here, this is where I'll prove you wrong. Tell me the size of hole in your wall from your fist punching in aggravation when Baron didn't get put into the main event of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view event show, not the match.
I just took a bulldozer to my entire house. Fuck it.
What do you where are you now?
I'm live on location from
the nearest Hilton Garden Inn.
The nearest Hilton Garden Inn, where I'll apparently be staying for a while.
The Motel 6?
The No-Tell Motel.
Why don't you just take Paul's shovel and put you and Baron in the bottom of the lake?
Oh, you're too funny. You've definitely got some jokes today.
Yeah, I know. I've been taking medicine for 2 days straight, so I'm delirious. I'm
No,
just glad.
Delirious is a bad booker in ROH. You're not Delirious.
I thought you were kidding, and then I realized you're not kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some WWE since we got all of
Ugh.
that random crap out of the way.
Most of it wasn't random.
Okay. Maybe it
Now,
was.
I know you told me off camera that there is no breaking news today. Sorry, everyone in the world. However, there's nothing that you have found out about Braun Strowman in the last 48, 72 hours. I do know for a fact that he's not cleared. He can't be cleared, even though he did lift a limo and flipped it on its side, which would be shatter. You know what? I'm going to let you talk because I have something in just a second.
I think there could be an element to them wanting to protect Braun as well. If he's not going to win the championship, do they really want him to lose a fifth time to Brock Lesnar? I don't know. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. So, there could be that element. I've asked about it. I'm waiting to hear. Obviously, a very busy time right now with the Royal Rumble. So, I'll definitely find out, and I'll be breaking some news on Twitter within the next week. So, pay attention to my Twitter at the Brad Shepard, SHEPARD, for some stories that I'll be breaking.
Yes. Thank you for doing that. Now, it really does seem that Braun isn't healthy. So let's just get that out of the way. We're going to take the main event that they have been hyping for a few weeks now and just throw it by the wayside, even though prior reports this week did say that Finn Balor was in that position to wrestle Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble event. Let's not get that screwed up. I know the event and the match are two different things. At the Royal Rumble event 2 weeks ago. I think that was Meltzer or the Torch that reported that one.
Dave Meltzer reported that was the original plan all along, dating back to Crown Jewel. And that was after saying basically something that completely contradicted that. So,
that's incorrect.
Yeah. So, obviously.
That's not correct at all. So, and you're right. They can do two things. They could protect Braun because he's either A, not healthy, or B, they don't want him to lose to Brock because Brock's going to WrestleMania as a champion. We all know that. Whether he leaves as a champion is a different story. But I did want to point out one thing is that if Braun is healthy, they're clearly portraying that he is on television. He lifted a limo. And let's do some math. Now, we all believe that WWE is the suspended disbelief of the world, our safe place, our haven for bullshit, right? The limo, right. Vince McMahon's limo with a Florida license plate, which it really wasn't Vince's limo. To point that out there. Vince's limo weighed 14,000 pounds. That's how much the presidential state car is estimated. Same build. The world record deadlift. How much do you think that is?
5,000.
Oh, not even close. 1,102 pounds.
Well,
done by the what?
Not as strong as Braun Strowman, pal.
No, done by World's Strongest Man, Eddie Hall. No, not Mark Henry. That's a gimmick.
Oh, that's a gimmick. Okay.
Yes. No, with a world record squat. Jonas Rantanen of Finland did it in October of 2011. How much do you think the world record squat was?
I don't really care, to be honest.
1,268 pounds. So what we're saying is that Braun, with somewhat ease, lifted a 14,000-pound vehicle, which shatters every record combined via squat, deadlift, and bench in the world times 7.
Now, which do you think was more unbelievable? That or Braun saying that Brock is scared of him, knowing that he's lost to him 4 times in a row?
It's a push. Both. Absolutely both. Where are they going with this?
Hopefully nowhere fast. Because Braun, for me, is lost a ton of momentum. They intentionally stalled him out because they don't want people getting too big, as I've said before. And you know what? It cost him big time. I mean, he's lost so much momentum. He's just so boring now. He's terrible in the mic. He's, not great in the ring. He's just very limited as a character to begin with. So it's just, I don't know. He's got a good catchphrase, I guess.
He had some really good moments in the last hell. When he first went on that stretch, he was the hottest thing in wrestling. He really was.
Yeah.
He had the biggest pop every night.
Yeah.
People were excited to see him because it was simple. He was big man going after what he wanted, and he'd beat the piss out of you if you said no. That was it. That's all that they had to do. And then all of a sudden, he's calling Brock Beastie Boy, which it was funny the first time, not the 10th time. It's not funny anymore. And they left him out to dry last week with his promo where he was just sitting and watching Paul and Brock just like talk crap, and he was just sitting there.
Yeah. Hey, the Revival defeated the Lucha House Party.
I fast forwarded through that match.
Yeah, nobody cared.
I love the Revival. I love them. They might be the best pure tag team in the world. Usos, you can argue. Why? Why do they do this every week?
Well, they cut a bad promo first, and it's not them. It was obviously the script they were given.
They're a good promo, man.
And it was just, it's the same old shit we've seen for how many weeks in a row between these two teams. And I mean, just really, literally nobody cared.
But they lose twice to BS tactics, and yet that's how they win the following week?
Well, yeah, pal, 50-50, nobody gets over.
It's inconsequential.
Of course. It makes the win inconsequential, of course. Everybody wins. It's okay. We're all winners.
Now, how is that going to make AEW's booking promise that much more logical, where wins and losses have never mattered more than before?
I think you could go down the rabbit hole a bit too much. I mean, I like the idea of wins and losses mattering more when it comes to building the character. At the same time, too, I'm okay with some DQ finishes and some count-out finishes.
If it leads to something good.
Story. It doesn't always have to be a clean finish. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of the wins and losses not mattering to the point of where it's like 50-50 or that type of a thing, or no momentum, losing every match and suddenly getting a title match. That's just not good storytelling. So that's the part I don't like.
What they should have done is them get screwed twice in a row, which they did, and then go on to beat them at the Rumble event.
I'm ready for the big match at WrestleMania, the Revival versus Lucha House Party in a Piñata Party match.
Oh, I really thought you were going to be, even though that is kind of funny, I thought you were going to go with the veiled triple threat tag for the title, Lucha House Party versus the Revival versus Gable and Bobby Roode, brother. No? You don't like that?
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen. Wait, can I pull a Dave Meltzer?
Yes, you can.
That will probably happen. Headline.
That will probably happen, but there is enough time where they could change their mind and not do it.
And then I'll say something probably will also happen. What?
But I haven't seen a house party this bad since Kid and Play. Can we just end this gimmick already?
Wait, what did you just say?
Oh, my God. This is the problem. When,
what?
I'm podcasting with you youngsters here.
Kid and what is it? Kid and Play?
Oh,
what is that?
He's literally Googling Kid and Play.
Yeah, right now, yeah.
As we do the podcast, because he has no idea what that is.
A rapper, a hip-hop duo from the late 80s and early 90s. Kid and Play was arrested in 2011. Some role models you had when you were growing up.
It's a movie.
Oh, they're rappers, believe it or not.
Yes, I'm well aware of that, John, but thank you.
So let's get I'm not a millennial. I'm the generation before that. I don't have a man bun. I'm not a vegan. I don't tell you why I'm a vegan. I don't brag how I'm a vegan. I've killed multiple animals. I am not a millennial. Thank you
Oh.
very much. I have cable. So can we talk about? So whenever you talk to your folks up at the big house in Stamford, Connecticut, or wherever you talk to a lot of people. Can you ask them why Vince is so ornery that he has to promote the Royal Rumble as an event and the match? Because holy cow, do I want to bulldoze my own house when I have to listen to commentary because of the Royal Rumble event? Because in the Royal Rumble match, it's the fucking, you say Royal Rumble. It's just that's all you got to do. It's not hard.
Goddamn, pal, there's a Royal Rumble, but it's an event. But
No,
it's also a match.
no, it's not. It's the Royal Rumble. It's so dumb. Oh, why? Why do they do it?
Oh, old people, they get stubborn, they get set in their ways. They fart in public, they generally don't give a fuck. Is he really going to care if someone asks him why he does that?
No, probably not.
He'll probably say, "Get me a fucking coffee, pal.
Get
out of my face.
Get me a steak and some ketchup and put it in a tortilla."
Yeah, but we're definitely not going to call it a burrito.
No, it's not a burrito. No, it's a man burrito. I don't know.
Yeah. So Vince announces a fatal 4-way.
It's a fun match.
Yeah, and all I could think is I'm thinking of this, and I knew what they were going. It's like I'm like,
what are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing?
What is that?
What is what?
The music in the background. Do you want us to get demonetized again by YouTube?
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other?
It's Baron Corbin.
I finished this song.
Yes, three over superstars and Baron Corbin. I get where you're coming from now. One got no reaction, which was him, and everyone else got a huge reaction.
Lie. He got huge heat.
No, he did not.
Crazy. He did too.
No, he didn't.
He's the most over heel on the show. He got huge heat.
Not anymore.
No, he's more over than every single heel, including Drew McIntyre.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
To the reaction.
I thought you said reactions didn't matter like a month ago.
Okay, but I'm just telling you, he's more over based on the reaction. We're talking about the in-crowd experience for this show, and I'm telling you, he's the most over heel on the show based on that.
Okay, so if we're talking, let's use your terminology for a second. If we're talking about the most over people on the entire show, that's Ronda Rousey, in no particular order. Ronda Rousey, John Cena, Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, and Seth Rollins. Those five.
You're telling me a lot of heels, right?
None of those were heels.
That's my point.
Except for him. But that doesn't mean it's like, if we're talking but you can boo someone because they suck or because you want to boo them because they're a bad guy.
And let me tell you, heat is heat. It's called professional wrestling, and they are designed to manipulate you and get a reaction out of you based on a particular action. And that's exactly what he does. And whether it makes the marks mad or whether it draws genuine heat over him doing something evil or treacherous, it doesn't really matter. He's getting a reaction.
Then why is he not in that GM spot anymore?
Because he's a wrestler. He did it. He did really well at it, by the way. And now he's in the main event of Raw still week after week.
But who came out on top?
Surely this will be the week that he falls off the face of the earth and doesn't appear on the show. I mean, I can just hear Dean saying it now.
Dean is actually sick, so there is no elbow drop this week. Even though
that's just too bad.
He's pissed because I said he had a smaller desk than I did, which is true. And then I called him 90, which isn't technically true. He's halfway.
Did he rate you up?
He has no managerial powers that I know of.
Sounds like a challenge to me. You sound a little insubordinate.
Yes, I need someone to give me a stern talking to.
Probably go to his office and he'll give you a stern talking to.
Maybe, he doesn't have an office.
I'll talk to him and I'll talk him into like a warning or something.
Oh, what did they used to call those? Like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, slap on the wrist.
Man, it was a slap in the face to you watching Finn Balor win the main event of Raw and go on to the Royal Rumble to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Interesting. I wonder why Vince made that decision. Wouldn't you just lose your mind if Finn beat Brock due to a distraction by someone?
It's just not going to happen. Look, yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be great way for me to stop watching the product. That'd be great. I mean, seriously, after the Royal Rumble, he's going to be going by finished Balor.
Okay.
Because Brock Lesnar is going to destroy him. In a shoot, he's going to suplex his little ass around the ring, and he'll be begging for mercy and saying, you know what? I better stay away from the heavyweights and go back where I belong at 205 Live.
He weighed in at 206. So nuts to you, pal.
Yeah, he's really and you believe that? 206? What is he carrying bricks when he stepped on the scale?
No, he had his boots on. So
I mean, when I look at Brock and Finn side by side, it's like Boys to Men. You know, they're not just a band. It's actually a thing. This match is actually a thing. Boys to Men. Because when I look at Finn, I think boy. When I look at Brock, I think man.
Well, we never see Brock, so how is that possible?
Well, we do see Brock.
You know what? Don't you just want the title to be on the show?
I do.
No matter who has it.
I said that many weeks ago. Look, of course I don't want it to be Finn Balor, though. It's not this is not a believable matchup. Are you kidding me? Who possibly could think that's believable? Nobody but the markiest marks of marks would want to see this and try to convince themselves that this is believable.
Why did Vince want to do it?
UFC has weight classes for a reason. Okay,
why do you now?
It's not believable.
Okay,
and the fact that they're going to even try and make this match competitive, I mean, it's totally embarrassing. Actually, your casual fan would take one look at this and laugh and say, "This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. This is ridiculous. It is absurd. It is fairy tale, not believable. I'm turning this off."
Well, you can't speak for everyone, but you did say something interesting. You talked about weight classes, but each weight class main events, like probably every pay-per-view in a span of a year. But why wouldn't that be the same for wrestling? Why couldn't they have cruiserweights main event the show? But in UFC, they can. Oftentimes, cruiserweights have the best fights. Sorry.
Well, who really cares? They're fake fights. It's a TV show that's based on entertainment. It's not about who has the best matches, believe it or not. I know that's what marks haven't realized yet. It's about entertainment. It is a TV show. It's about characters, okay? It's about entertaining matches to a degree. It's about a lot of things, telling a story. But to act like it's based on matches, I mean, they're fake. It's a TV show. It's entertainment. You can't say that. But yes, if they built up cruiserweights the correct way, can they main event? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. That's totally fine with me. It's fine. They don't. They suck. They're boring. Nobody watches them. But could they do more with it? Yes. And is it possible if they invested in it properly that they could main event a show or a pay-per-view? Yes. That's perfectly okay. That's not my point at all.
Why did it, even if that all is true, I don't think it is, but why is not what you just said prior to that about the not being believable part? Why does Vince want to do it if it's such a stupid idea?
I mean, personally, I think, first of all, people do prefer the bigger guys. I really do think that. I mean, the bigger they are, usually the more they prefer it.
Finn got the biggest reaction on the entire show. He had the biggest pop.
And I mean in anything. I mean, in sports, combat sports, you look at it, and people tend to like a Haas fight. They tend to like the heavyweights. You look at boxing. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Now, doesn't mean there aren't entertaining people like Conor McGregor, for example. But I'm just saying in general, would you rather have a Haas fight of two 6'4", 260 pounders, or two guys that are 5'4" and 130 pounds. What would you want the main event to be?
I preferred my favorite class in UFC was middleweight. I love the middleweights.
Okay, but what would you want in the scenario I just gave?
Like a heavyweight versus heavyweight versus a strawweight, or flyweight, I should say. That gigantic comparison, heavyweights. But if
of course, that's my point. Yeah. Just it's a generality, but that's my point.
But if we were getting the nitpicky, like I think lightweight and welterweight fights are more entertaining than heavyweight fights. Like the George St. Pierre's, the BJ Penns, those fights were more entertaining to me than watching Shane Carwin fight. I thought it was boring. He was slow. I found the middle ground. Like I said, Anderson Silva is my favorite UFC fighter of all time. I love, and the middleweights weight class was 185. Yeah. And light heavyweights were 205. I think they were way more entertaining than the heavyweights, depending on who was fighting. There was always an exception to the rule. But wrestling, I mean, you can do anything with it. It's wrestling. That's what it's for. I mean,
you can do anything. That's true, but you have to have general rules, and it's all fake. And you script who wins. But if you want any context of believability, you can't have Finn Balor go out there and squash Brock Lesnar in 10 seconds. If you do, hang it up. The show's over, pal.
I would never sign up for that.
Well, ever. I know, but that's all I'm saying. But just the concept of Balor and Brock, boys to men, it is not believable whatsoever. I have no interest in this match. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, to be honest. I may turn it off.
Why is this not okay? But Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels wrestling is okay. 9-inch height advantage. Nash is a big, strong dude. Michaels is like an average guy. Why is that different?
Okay, but Michaels at his biggest was not 205 live. He wasn't 170 pounds.
He's still an average looking guy. He's built,
I understand that, and he's a little bit of an outlier in that regard. But he's still not a 205 live guy. And frankly, he was a star. He was a big star. You're talking about, one of the all-time greatest performers. I mean, come on. I mean, it's kind of like you're not using a good comparison to make your case here.
Well, no, I'm talking about
not in Shawn Michaels' class.
I'm talking about size. I mean, the size discrepancy is the same. It is, no matter what.
Well, it's exactly the same. 170 pounds. I would disagree with that.
Well, Kevin Nash is also 5 inches taller than Brock Lesnar. That's my point. We're talking about someone who's wider with mass, who is tall.
Well, yeah, I don't disagree. Like, he should dominate Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. So, but back then, why was it okay back then, but it's not okay in 2019?
Who said it was okay back then?
Well, everyone.
What manual did you read that from?
Everyone went nuts for Shawn and Nash. I mean, he was the bodyguard, and they ended up feuding.
Story. They were characters, and they had stories.
But then that
story's played out, and people are emotionally invested in it. That's why this is two fucking flip flops. And I mean, you got to have that now. Maybe if you had that, it would be a little more momentous. You would have people invested in it. Maybe they buy into it a little more. But you don't really have that. You have. Here's a guy, he wins a match, and in 2 weeks, he's got a championship match at the Rumble.
No, the build is horrible. I don't like it. I loved the end result because I'm a fan, but I didn't like how they did it. I would rather have them built up to it for months and not just 2 weeks before the show. I'm with you. I am. I really am. I think the writing is illogical, and I think should be better. No.
Yeah, well, we know the writing's illogical. I mean,
disagree with me if you want, but the best writing and most consistent, oh, please strike me down, has been Mandy Rose and Jimmy Uso.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we're going to have to disagree. I mean, we'll talk about SmackDown Live in a moment, but speaking of illogical writing, how about Seth Rollins saying he'll never forgive Ambrose for betraying him after 6 years of friendship?
Yeah, that was hypocritical.
Are you kidding me? Who actually wrote that and thought that would be a good idea to write and put on a TV show?
Well, it wasn't, oh, you didn't know? I don't know who writes Raw. Well, Vince does.
Jesus. It was like, not very good.
Oh, wait. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, a side note here, something positive.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross. I think there's something there with her.
You're not making fun of her?
I was compelled by her entrance on Raw. And then she had a brief segment, which was a little interesting on SmackDown as well. I find her interesting. And, I said it from the beginning. She's got her character down, and it's different. And her look is different. So I like it so far.
I'm glad to hear. Have you seen a match with her before? Well, takeovers. You watch takeovers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have, yes.
She can work.
She can work, and she doesn't have to be a 5-star flip-flopper. That's fine. She just has to be passable. That's all. She has to be like a couple levels above Nia Jax. And that's fine.
Two quick things on Raw before we go to SmackDown. So the really well physically fit specimen who could be a main eventer, EC3, wasted in a backstage segment with mid-carders.
Yeah, they're trying to get them all in. No pun intended on these shows, and it's just, they're doing a bad job of it. It's very lazy, and uncreative, and they're not doing them any favors at all. But the most interesting part about Raw to me, well, I guess there was the moment of bliss, which I thought was a disaster.
Yeah, they announced the tag belts.
Tag belts, nobody cared. You had Heyman come out, start to promote his match, got interrupted by Otis of Heavy Machinery, who was acting like a drooling idiot. I mean, this was like total lowbrow, wacky comedy, and the guy hasn't even wrestled the match yet. And I'm like, oh yeah, they're fucked.
Hey, they got a reaction. People were talking about him on social media.
Yeah, they got a reaction. We'll revisit this in 6 months and see where they're at, I think.
That's fair.
Yeah. But the best part of the show to me, the best part of Raw.
Oh, no.
Side boob gate.
Wait. Oh, Alexa Bliss. Yep.
So a stagehand knocks on Alexa Bliss's locker room door, lets her know he had her latte. She didn't answer. He knocks again. Still no answer. He thought this meant it was a good idea to go in, so he opens the door, lets her know he's coming in. And of course, there she is, topless, but holding a shirt covering her breasts. He closes his eyes, starts stuttering. She tells him to leave. And did you see side boob?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I thought when I watched this the first time, I thought I saw a side boob just to investigate, pure journalistic purposes. I watched it a second time.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's my commitment to journalistic integrity.
Okay.
And then I was, there was no side boob. I thought we were going to have a big scandal there. It does look like it's fully covered.
No, but go ahead.
The most interesting thing here, okay, and it got blasted on social media, of course, by the whiny social justice warriors, the marks who hate everything that a casual audience could like.
Ryan Satin.
All the dirt sheet writers, pretty much. You could just line them up, and they hated it.
Sean Sat.
So you go to YouTube, WWE's YouTube channel, and it had over 2 million views in 17 hours. Now, comparing that, just to, kind of put it in context, another segment on that show, Bobby Lashley versus Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship, that in 17 hours had 691,000 views.
Want me to have a live update on those numbers?
It's not even close. She was well above everything. That segment was a huge success. And, look, I would continue it. And I think they're going to drop the ball. I don't think they're going to do it. But I would absolutely continue this. In fact, I would have had an actual male superstar be the one to come in.
Well, what would have Buddy Murphy thought about that?
Well, who really cares?
Yeah, that's true.
It's called acting.
That's true. So, live, up to date, the opening segment with Finn, Baron, Drew, and Cena and Vince has 1.1 million views, and the Intercontinental title little mashup has 781,000 views.
Right.
The women's tag reveal has 563. The Otis Dojovic interrupting a moment of bliss has 744.
More people cared about Otis rather than the women's tag team title.
Yeah. John Cena saying he believes in Finn Balor, 609. And the ending sequence to the Fatal 4-Way has 1.2 million. So the ending sequence to the Fatal 4-Way has more than all of those, except Alexa Bliss's interruption has 2.4 million views on YouTube.
2.4 million already. Again, Here we are. We're about 24 hours after the fact now. Absolutely incredible.
Alexa, stop.
It's unbelievable.
Hold on. Alexa, stop. Thank you.
Now, is she searching? Alexa Bliss shows her breast or something? What was she searching?
I just said I don't want to say her name again because then it's gonna go off. The Mandy Rose Jimmy Uso thing has 16K in 20 minutes.
Yeah, of course. That's because it's relatable. Look, it's a no-brainer here. These are things you would see on primetime network TV as part of stories. That's what you have to write. That's the stuff you have to write. Not everything has to be that, but certainly you have to have some stories that do things like that. I mean, come on. You got to get in the casual fans, and you're not going to do that just writing a wrestling show. It's just kind of a no-brainer if you know how to write TV, which I guess they don't because it's the same old shit. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was great, but they have to continue on and have a male superstar come in. And that's what I would do. And absolutely, you could continue this on for weeks.
Yeah, you really could.
Absolutely.
I mean, look what they're doing with Mandy and Jimmy. But before I get on, they don't know how to write. So, yeah, writing television is about connecting with the viewer at home, what they want to see. At the TV station that I work for, we don't really prioritize breaking news, but that's kind of our MO. We're the breaking news station in the area.
Yeah.
And they get, blood and death get us ratings. Sorry. So it's depressing and it's horrible, but.
Yeah. So Dean actually asked you to prioritize blood and guts.
Dean's in sports. I'm in news where the money is made.
Oh, jeez.
That's a joke. That is a joke. We do a lot of good sports stuff there. We do really well. Anyway, Bobby Lashley winning the Intercontinental title.
I liked it because I think Lio Rush has been great with Bobby Lashley. I thought he was great in the match on Raw. I just think they've given away Leo getting his butt kicked too soon. They should have made more out of that. It should have been kind of like the payoff, but I like it. Gets the title off of Dean and Seth and gives Lashley some momentum. He's been better as a heel, and his presentation has been much better with Lio Rush because Lashley doesn't really have to talk. Let's face it.
And he's very bad at
it. Yeah.
He's very, very bad at it. Yeah. So, SmackDown, we'll hit the keynotes.
Well, how about Becky Lynch?
Loved it. Great. Loved it. Fantastic. Asuka brought the segment down with her words, but otherwise it was great.
So Becky walks over to Otis and the New Day, and they're putting together that gross milkshake with eggs and a whole bunch of nasty crap. She picks it up, drinks it, and says it's a little weak. Walks off, and then cuts one of the biggest try-hard promos in modern WWE history.
Well, it was wonderful.
Loved it. The crowd is absolutely dead.
Still got the biggest reaction of the night.
Dead. And they actually remedy that by having Asuka come out and cut a promo too? And she's yelling and emphasizing her words unnecessarily.
I know.
And they follow that up with the Iconics.
I love the Iconics.
And then cut a promo. And they're not only unfunny, they're not entertaining. And by the way, they're also the shits in the ring.
That's one man's opinion. That's fine.
I mean, where is Box Office Becky?
She's there.
Live house show canceled night after the big Royal Rumble show due to low ticket sales. Box Office Becky. I mean, I watched her wrestle in jeans. It looked more like a basic Becky to me. So we see anything you can do, I can do better. Becky, basic Becky, defeated Peyton Royce. Asuka defeated Billie Kay. And then Asuka cut a promo in Japanese, which, actually I had translated, John. You see, I'm actually friends with Hiroshi Tanamichi. Don't know if you've heard of him. He's, like a big deal in Japan. But here's what he told me, and I just want to quote it here of what she was actually saying to Becky after the match. Where is this Box Office Becky that I hear? All I see is a basic Becky. Unquote. That's what he actually said after the match.
That's a very bad impression. And insulting the Japanese community because they don't all sound the same.
I don't know. She kind of sounds like Nakamura.
They sound different.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I was just going to talk about you actually have storylines building. Samoa Joe came out and beat the shit out of Mustafa Ali. If they can actually turn that into something, I don't care who wins, but at least make a story out of it. I think it'll be entertaining. And then you had probably match of the month with Andrade, last name redacted because Vince is a huge asshole.
Yeah,
and Rey Mysterio.
Andrade. Yeah, Andrade. No longer Cien Almas. It's too much for people to remember. He's now like Sharon Madonna. He is Andrade.
Yep. He couldn't he couldn't just call Shinsuke Nakamura, so he had to do it with someone we all liked. Did you like the match? Did you watch SmackDown?
I did. You know what I really liked? My impersonation of Asuka cutting a promo.
It was really bad, but
no, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, that's fine. Did you enjoy the match?
Mysterio and Almas. No, I fast forwarded that. Who cares?
Well, you're looking for good wrestling, yet you give nothing a chance unless they're 6'8" and above and boring and slow and make you want to fall asleep. Give it a chance. Watch the damn match. Don't be stubborn and petty, like we know you are.
No, I thought Rey Mysterio looked like Liberace with that headgear he had on.
I don't get the reference.
Liberace. Liberace?
Who's that?
Liberace. But
who's Liberace?
Oh God! See, this is why I can't do jokes with you. If I do the obvious jokes like the accents, then then obviously you get it. But then when I go to like the more dated references, you're like, okay, I don't get it. I'm gonna have to Google that shit.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Liberace, you don't. Okay, Google Liberace.
Since you didn't watch any wrestling these past few days, then talk to me about Jimmy and Mandy, because I don't know what else I got.
Well, I thought the storyline to it was interesting. It's something different. It's something more relatable. It's got drama. It's got intrigue. It's not just about wrestling. So yeah, Jimmy goes to the hotel where Mandy reveals she just wanted to sabotage their relationship because she hates Naomi, and that's basically it. So the angle is like 3 weeks old. They totally botched this angle. I mean, they had some momentum. They had some intrigue. And what do? They just fucking kill it after 3 weeks. I mean, seriously, this is something that could have dragged on. They could have done a lot of things to this. I mean, they could have, look, you could have had her walk into the shower while Uso is showering. Or you could have had him accidentally send her a nude picture. He thought he was texting Naomi. He accidentally texted Mandy. I don't know. Come up with something. Something different. Something that's going to catch people's attention, something with a little shock factor that's going to be different and have some intrigue. And that would have been a lot better, but they cut themselves off at the legs. I don't understand it, and they killed it. And now what are they going to? They're going to a match that nobody's going to care about. Let it play out. Do something. They just cut these angles off so quick, and they have no time to really build any real momentum, and I just don't understand why.
I thought it was the best writing they've had in a while, from a non-wrestling standpoint. Until they were probably afraid of people complaining.
Okay, but these people complain about everything. They complain about going to Saudi Arabia. They complained about Dean Ambrose's promo with Roman Reigns in it. They complain about everything. They complained about Alexa Bliss and her segment where she's covering her top, and it gets 2.4 million views in 24 hours. And they complain about that. They're going to complain about everything. And you just have to realize, if it's not going to hurt your business, you have to do things that are going to get in a casual audience. And I say you go for it. You take a little chance. I mean, you're not doing anything that's, R-rated, anything that's not allowed on TV. But come on, do something different and creative. I thought it was, it was just such a lead balloon ending. So dumb. One of the things that pissed me off about this crowd is Shane says his first partner was going to be Andre the Giant, and nobody cared.
You're old, bud. No one knows who that is anymore.
I'm like, wow, Andre the Giant, and they just don't know who it is. Wow.
Yeah.
But they know all the little flippy flops.
Sounds like you're stubborn and get off my lawn.
Andre the Giant? You don't know who Andre is?
Of course I do.
I mean, seriously, I'm not asking, do you know who Tito Santana was? Who's SD Jones? I'm not asking that. I'm asking Andre the Giant, one of the biggest name brand, well-known wrestlers in the history of the entire business.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Hey.
I've upped my standards. Now up yours.
Yeah, but they're not gonna. It's just the way wrestling is nowadays.
Did you notice, and maybe this is a personal observation, but Mustafa Ali kind of looks like Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
I love it. Mortal Kombat's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Do you really think so?
I love how I make a statement, because I am kind of obviously a sarcastic dick a lot of times, and I make a statement, and you and you'll be like, "Do you really mean that?" I mean, let's face it, I have the deadpan delivery of where I say sarcastic things, and I no-sell it, and then nobody is really clear if I actually mean what I say. Which I find hilarious.
Yeah,
I do mean it. I do mean it. Yeah. No, I like Mortal Kombat. I watched the movies, had the video games. I wish he would freeze me during his matches. He's boring.
To you. To everyone else, not so much.
I don't know about that.
He got the third biggest babyface pop of the night.
Well,
you fast forwarded through most of the show, so how would you know?
Well, it was too boring to watch.
I don't think SmackDown was bad.
I do. I thought that was terrible. It was a bad show. Both of the shows were bad.
Well, you have until the end of the month to, I thought you were being more open, like Dean said, and giving it a chance. Because you're clearly not. You hate most of it, if not all of it, every week.
I just don't think it's a very good TV show.
You can read the recaps, and then I can watch a show, and we can talk about it.
I can go to a house show, a live event, and have a lot of fun, and it is straight matches, and I know exactly what I'm getting, and it's not a TV show per se. But when I watch a 3-hour TV show or a 2-hour TV show in prime time, I want to be entertained. I want it to have storylines and characters, and we're just not getting that. We're getting a bunch of small flippy flops having 5-star matches, and I just don't really care about that.
Actually,
I like good matches. I just think that's a very small piece of the pie.
Well, the only good match of the week, the Fatal 4-Way was fun.
I thought so. I liked the Fatal 4-Way on Raw. I thought it was my favorite match of the week.
But it doesn't really bother me because I really don't care. But
hey, Corbin should have won that match.
He shouldn't.
He hit the end of days. He hit the end of days on Balor and had him pinned, pal.
Yeah, and Finn kicked out.
No, he didn't kick out. The pin was broken up. Nobody has ever kicked out of end of days, pal.
That it literally isn't.
That's a shoot, brother.
No, it's
true.
Not.
It is true. No, it's true.
No, it's not.
It is true.
Prove
it's true. I'm not making the argument you are. Nobody's ever kicked. It's probably the most protected finisher in the entire company. Seriously.
No.
Okay, what finisher is more protected than that? Just name one.
The Claymore kick.
That, by the way, that's a move that he just started, and
he's been using since he debuted again.
Okay, and I'll tell you, Baron Corbin has been using his move longer, but let's just say, hey, nobody's kicked out of that either. Guess what? Then it doesn't mean he's more protected. It just means they're equally protected. So again, find one person whose finisher is more protected than Baron Corbin. And you can't do it because nobody has ever kicked out of his finisher. They are protecting his finisher. That's why.
That's a reach big time.
No, it's actually not a reach. It's
a big time reach. It's a reach.
How's that a reach?
Because no one gives a fuck about Baron Corbin. Sorry.
He's the most over heel on Raw. Are you crazy?
Yeah, but he doesn't push merch sales. He How do you know? He doesn't win matches.
You tell me how you know he doesn't push merch sales.
Well, his shirt's on sale. So as you put it,
as is Becky Lynch. Box Office Becky's got discount T-shirts on WWEshop.com. The man. She'll drink your milkshakes, bring all the boys to the yard, and then come on out and have a 5-star match with Charlotte and Asuka, and they'll cut a promo that nobody cares about and nobody understands.
So why is it okay if Tom Brady's shirt goes on sale, but Becky's can't?
Tom Brady is the highest-selling jersey in the NFL again. Again! The top-selling jersey in the entire league!
But it's a discount, which means... he's not doing so well, right?
It's the top-selling jersey in the league. Is Becky Lynch the top-selling T-shirt in the company?
Top 5.
Okay, no. So there it is. So there is your difference.
Uh-huh. I see where you're going with it. I'll keep it to
it's
myself.
Called facts. That's where I'm going with it. It's called facts.
You can stick your facts with all the French fries and 300 burgers at the White House. Thank you very much.
Oh, jeez.
Did you watch that video?
Which video?
Of Trump at the White House getting ready to congratulate the Clemson football team after their title win, when since the government shutdown, there is no cooks in the White House. He had his servants go get 300 hamburgers, Domino's pizzas, and fast food. It was a fast food smorgasbord.
Yes. Jealous, actually.
And there were Big Macs as far as the eye can see, with a candelabra lit to make it fancy in the middle of the dining room table.
That reminds me of those like McDonald's cafes where you're going in to get the dollar menu, or you're just going in to get some fast food that tastes like shit, probably terrible for you, but it's a cafe, pal. So you sit down and it's kind of fancy. Let me sit down and eat my fancy soy burger.
A McCafe. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. So before so you have no news.
I have some big news coming. The location for WrestleMania 36 has been decided.
Was that right?
So stay tuned to my Twitter account.
No, let's wait till next week. Come on. We'll make the show big. We'll brand it as the announcement of the WrestleMania location for, since Vince doesn't like numbers anymore because he's old. So it's not WrestleMania 36, by the way. It's just WrestleMania. Oh.
Yeah.
Come on, save it for next week on the podcast.
We'll see what happens.
Well, Brandon Big.
Definitely stay tuned to @TheBradShepard on Twitter.
So here's what's going to happen, kids. If I'm right, it's going to wait till the podcast. If I'm not, he'll put it up beforehand. You heard it here first. Because I said Tampa from the beginning, and Brad just said Florida. So we'll see who's right. That's how it's going to work. I know it, and he knows it.
We'll see. Stay tuned.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to work. So tomorrow night, tonight, we're recording this on a Tuesday evening. Riverdale is back. Are you excited? That's for those of you who don't know, that's Brad and I's favorite show, with good writing, good characters, good storytelling, best television show on television. That's redundant.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where they go. I mean, I hope they don't get too sci-fi.
What's wrong with some sci-fi?
Well, I'm not like huge into sci-fi. Like, I don't like a ton of it usually. Some of it is fine. But when it starts getting too crazy, I'll give you an example. Flash on the CW.
I heard it was pretty decent.
No, it's a show I watched until it got too crazy with the other dimensions and going back and forth in the other dimensions and doppelgangers. And it just became so absurd and difficult to capture what was going on that I just, didn't want to give it a time of day anymore. So I just hope they don't do that. But I'm excited to see where it goes, certainly. By the way, I don't know if you caught this, but I think it's fair to point out that I was actually called one of the greatest minds in the business this week.
He wasn't talking about you. It was Brad Shepard with a PH, not just a P.
Somebody sounds a little jealous.
Not, man. Well, I mean, not as bad as when Saltamania ran wild on you on Monday night watching Finn Balor book his ticket to the Royal Rumble.
He's booking his ticket to the Royal Rumble and then booking his ticket straight to the hospital.
No.
Or the local medical facility, I should say.
No, not Royal Rumble. Get it right. Where's he going?
He's going to the Royal Rumble. He's going to
No. Was he in the match or the event? Pick one.
Well, he's in the Royal Rumble event.
Thank you, Vince.
Could he be in the match? I don't know. They could do both.
Yeah, they could do both. Is Becky
going to
be?
I mean, let's just pick him in one match, have him lose, and be done with it. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Are they going to double dip for Becky? Because we know the main event of Mania, but is she going to be inducted? Is she going to be included in the Royal Rumble? I can't believe I'm doing this. Now it's in my own head. Is she going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble and win it, or is she going to be in the main event for Mania later on?
I don't know. They're so try hard on her right now. She just may win everything. She may win the title, the Rumble. She
Miss
may
Universe.
win it all. Yeah, Miss Universe.
I'd love that.
She may win it all.
Don't you have a thing for redheads?
No. I don't discriminate. I just don't have a thing for redheads. I don't know where that came. Now I think you do.
Oh,
because you are one of the biggest Becky Lynch marks I have ever met.
I'm just an unbiased observer on the human condition. What can I say? And she,
yeah. And what is the condition in your pants after watching Becky Lynch on SmackDown?
The same one where you have to stream every local morning news show that Baron Corbin's on. Same scenario.
You are the worst. Okay. So that settles it. I'm one of the greatest minds in the business. I've just given you guys a lot of my expertise here. It's like osmosis. When you listen to this podcast, it's like I'm sharing my knowledge, but I'm spreading it, and everybody's getting smarter because of it.
Okay. So, here's a reference. Osmosis Jones. Name of the movie. Or is that the movie name? Full Circle.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Osmosis Jones. It's the animated movie from I was like 8 when it came out. You don't remember that?
No, I don't think I watched a cartoon movie in 2001 called Osmosis Jones.
It was Chris Rock, Lawrence Fishburne. Come on. Bill Murray was in it.
Okay, they did the voices maybe of the cartoons.
No, Bill Murray was actually Bill Murray.
Okay, but he was a cartoon.
No, he wasn't. Bill Murray was himself. Everyone else was a cartoon. It was like Space Jam, the best movie of all time.
Space Jam.
Best movie of all time. Prove me wrong. Do you have, just like Becky Lynch is the greatest female wrestler ever?
Yeah, go ahead.
Does your favorite movie have Michael Jordan in it? No, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
It does not. Does it have the Looney Tunes in it? No. And
no.
Does your favorite movie have Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes getting in wacky hijinks together? No, it doesn't.
No, my favorite movie, well, and I've got a lot of favorite movies. I'm a movie watcher, but...
Can I guess your favorite movie?
Oh, yes. I would love nothing more.
You have to give me a hint. What decade did it come in?
What decade did it... What kind of an insulting question is that? Look,
that'll narrow it down.
Well, and if I give the actor, I may give it away. It came out in 1999.
Shawshank Redemption.
And 1999?
Was that
Shawshank Redemption was a good movie, by the way. I enjoyed that. Mina Savari was...
who the hell was that?
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Mina?
Yeah. Mina? Oh, my God. This is what I'm talking about.
How do you even spell the name?
Oh my God. Okay. So what has typically been one of my favorite all-time movies, if not my favorite, is American Beauty.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It does star pervert Kevin Spacey, confirmed pervert, and Mina Savari. Came out in 1999.
Oh my gosh, I know who that is.
Kevin Spacey plays a telesales operative. He becomes disillusioned with his life and begins to have the desire for fresh and new, exciting things. And it's a very compelling movie, in my opinion. Also, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Of course.
Who doesn't love that? That movie was the bomb.com. I mean, are you kidding me? Classic Jim Carrey. I love classic Jim Carrey comedy. And
like Bruce Almighty?
Liar, Liar, Dumb and Dumber. Gosh. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and Ace Ventura, Pet Detective 2, When Nature Calls. I mean, there's just so many.
Did American Beauty have 2.4 million views on YouTube in 23 hours? Where can...
I don't know, but you definitely didn't, you got a little more than what you saw on Raw.
You did.
I believe.
You did. Where can the kids find you on Twitter to not promote side boob, apparently? That's side boob gate. I didn't know that was a real thing.
Yeah, I made it a real thing, but now I guess I've also ended it because we've confirmed that was not the case. So follow me on Twitter at the Brad Shepard, and I have plugged it ad nauseum on this particular episode, so I do apologize in advance, but do follow me if you listen at the Brad Shepard. Rate and subscribe, please. It helps us get more listeners, so thank you.
Yeah, it really does. John Fisher TV for me on Twitter. Yeah, rate, review, subscribe, iTunes, Podbean. I think we're on Podbean. Google Play for sure, Stitcher for sure, iTunes. I said that SoundCloud. We might be on Podbean. I'll have to take a look at that. I'm trying to get us in Spotify too, so we'll see how that goes. Anything else to ruin their minds since you already have before we write off for the week?
Let's see. I think I don't know. I guess I don't have anything to say. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I'm so mentally drained from giving everything to everybody during this episode. It's like, a really smart person and they just kind of send all of their knowledge like osmosis to another person. And then it like drains them.
Yes, as in Bill Murray and Osmosis Jones, the 2001 animated film.
Exactly. And they probably got it from me. It's a real life story based on me. And that's what I feel like. So I'm drained. So I don't have anything else to say. So I guess, you're welcome.
All right. We'll see you all next week.